Remember to record. So yeah, I guess we have to.
Oh, I have to say, okay, continue.
Yes, I just saw that.
Okay.
Yes. All right, so thank you so much. I want to also thank our sponsors. Without our sponsors and members, we couldn't be where we are. And our sponsors are Elder and Estate Planning Attorneys, N2 Architecture, One Parking, and WGI as our platinum sponsors. We have our gold sponsors, which is Cornerstone Realty, Cushman and Wakefield, Edward Jones, Fidelity National Financial, First Citizens Bank, Interstate Restoration, Meadows Bank, Partner Engineering and Science, Pulte Group, Quigley Marketing, Schumacher Companies, Tamboni Companies, Wells Fargo, and Welltower. And then we have friends of our chapter, which is Barbara LeBrun and Emerald Creek Capital. So thank you all of our sponsors. Again, we couldn't be here without you. And one of the benefits of being a platinum sponsor is that they have the opportunity to speak in the beginning of one of our programs. And Anne Dorsemere Cartwright is our sponsor, our platinum sponsor that's going to be speaking today. So Anne, I'm going to turn it over to you. You're on mute.
Thank you very much. Okay, so just going to brief.
You're still on mute.
Sorry, someone, okay. Am I muted still? No, okay.
Okay.
So, hi, I'm Anne Dorsemere Cartwright, Managing Partner of Elder and Estate Planning Attorneys. And today we are going to talk about Live, Plan, and Legacy. That is the focus of my law firm. And I talk about this on a regular basis. So what does elder and estate planning attorneys do? Well, we do estate planning. And in estate planning, we are talking about what you own, how you own it. In other words, who you own it with. So first you have to list out what you own. And then you have to figure out who you own it with, because sometimes who you own it with determines where it goes at your death. And then you're going to decide where you want it to go if it doesn't transfer automatically by operation of law. Quick example of that is you own property with a spouse or a significant other. At death, it normally goes to the person who survives. And then you want to decide if something happens to you, what is going to, but you don't pass away, how are you going to manage your affairs? Okay. So next we're going to talk about, so what's the next step that you want to take when determining what your estate plan is? You're going to create an action plan to implement your estate plan. So, and once you do that, okay, every year I want you to review your plan to make sure it's still consistent, making sure your fiduciaries haven't passed away or became disabled. And your fiduciaries might be a trustee, might be your personal representative, might be an agent under a power of attorney, whether for medical or financial. And you're going to want to meet with your estate planning attorney. And who's that? But me. So we're going to talk about a specific asset that I want you to think about. So what about my business? The question, that should have said about, sorry, a question about my business. How do I transfer that interest to the next generation? And a typical lawyer answer, it depends. So you have to ask with the assistance of your attorney, how is your business owned? What kind of entity do you have? Is it an LLC with an operating agreement? Is it a S corporation with shares of stock? Is it a sole proprietorship? Typically, you know that because you know how you file your tax return. But again, we can look at that. And then where do you want the asset to go when you pass away? Some businesses, it's all about the person owning the business. They're everything to the business. So transferring it or selling it at death is a lot more difficult, but most businesses are not. You can actually transfer it. Now, do you want it where you get tax advantages for a step up in basis? And that's a tax question that we talk about. Who gets the basis in the value of the business? Is it the date of death value? or is it the actual cost that you invested in that business? Do you want a sale? What are the tax consequences of that? Depending on all the answers to that, what determines how you want to set up the transfer if you want to do it at death, if you haven't sold it during your lifetime. So the next thought, oops, what the heck is that? What the heck is that? Okay. So the next thing is, let's talk about how sometimes businesses are transferred, and that's through a revocable trust. The purpose of a revocable trust is to transfer assets easily at death. The trust is used to pay your bills, so it's not a trust for asset protection. And then you want to look into, if I'm actually going to sell this business at my death through my trustee is going to assist in the sale. How do I ensure that the trustee is going to have enough money to either sell it or buy it, or whatever the situation may be? And that you can usually protect with life insurance. I sell no financial products. I just draft documents and help you get the process in place. So my question for you is this your plan? Little levity never hurt. When I die, lady says, I want to be cremated. Middle woman says, I want to be buried. Third woman says, I drank so much wine, I think I should be bottled. That's me. Okay, next, very quickly. During your lifetime, a trust is easily managed to manage your affairs if you become disabled or you manage it yourself. And then at death, the trustee pays all your debts and then distributes the property according to the trust. And again, I emphasize that a revocable trust is not an asset protection from your creditors kind of vehicle. So the things to think about at your passing, you think about today. Do you have minor children? How are they going to be taken care of? Is there a second marriage that you have to want to make sure that your assets go to your family members or to your spouse first and then to your family members? And then the other things to think about is who owns your website at death? Who runs your business at death? And obviously who has access to your bank accounts through digital means. And this is very important because of how our lives have changed over the past 10, 15 years with digital assets. And then there's always the spousal rights. If you have a spouse and you're giving at least 1/3, you're okay. You're giving less than 1/3 of your assets, you may be in trouble. And finally, 5 tips for your estate plan. Every year, check your beneficiaries. I guarantee you, First Citizens is really on top of making sure that the beneficiary named on their bank accounts is correct. But as banks failed over the past 20 years and transferred, they didn't always have a good system to making sure the consent form you signed for your beneficiary years ago made it to that new bank. Check your agents in your documents every year. Are your agents healthy? Are they alive? Are they still willing to serve as your agents? Third, I suggest you actually write your obituary. I can guarantee you that when a person passes away and someone's trying to write their obituary, they forget things because they're so overwhelmed by your passing. Write it now and share it. Update it as things happen in your life. Determine what funeral plans you want. Do you want to be cremated? Do you want to be buried? Do you want to be bottled? What is going on there? And finally, acknowledge that your death will actually happen and plan for it, because that's the one thing I can guarantee besides paying taxes is you will in fact pass away. Thank you for letting me share with you briefly. Contact me if you have any questions.
Thank you so much, Ane. That was fantastic. And I'm sure, you know, with the COVID and everything going around, it's on the top of people's minds. So really important to plan and be ready. So thank you so much. So our board and our past president's council met last week to go over our strategic plan going into 2021, because of course things have changed. It was a great meeting. We have a lot of exciting events coming up and things planned for 2021. But the next 2 events I wanted to share, we do have a coffee with me on December 1st, and we're going to talk about really holiday plans for your corporations for your clients and what ideas you have. So many things have changed this year. I used to deliver breakfast to a lot of my clients. That's changed. So it's going to be an open conversation of ideas of what we can do for holiday parties with our clients. Next, we are having our virtual holiday party. It's a members only event on December 8th, and it's at a different time. And it's from 3 to 4. We have so many exciting things that we're doing. It's going to be so much fun. Just a hint, prepare your creative virtual background and your ugly sweater. Just saying. Okay. So let's get into our program, and I would like to introduce Rosa Schechter. Rosa is a principal and general counsel for Avenir Holdings, LLC, and the Landstar Group of companies. In that capacity, she oversees all activities related to deal management and public outreach, and is also responsible for all legal affairs for the Landstar Group of companies. Rosa has more than 25 years experience in all aspects of deal acquisitions, approvals, finance, management, development, construction, and sale, with a specialty in large-scale mixed-use communities involving complex land use, zoning, approval, permitting, and planning efforts. Wow, that's a lot. I ran out of breath, Rosa.
I write very long sentences.
For the past 7 years, Rosa has helped lead the approval and permitting efforts for Avenir, a planned approximately 4,700 acre mixed use community in the city of Palm Beach Gardens. And I got to tell you, I drove past it recently, and it's so amazing to see how it's progressed over the years. But not only is Rosa just a well-educated, wonderful person, she's also a fellow crew member and has been for the last 4 years. So thank you, Rosa, for being here, and I'll introduce you to Rosa.
Okay, thank you. First of all, thank you for having me. This is the most social I have felt in, 8 months. And so I'm grateful to actually have a lot of people to talk to that are not in my immediate household. So it's an exciting day for me. I'm part of a family business. I mean, that's the most important thing to know about Avenir. It's really 3 or 4 families. We've been working together for years. My dad started this with the other families that we're partnered with in the 70s, developing property in Orlando. Avenir specifically is a project that we identified and acquired in October of 2012. It took us a good 4.5 years to get it zoned. That was a challenge. And then since the land use entitlements were obtained, we've been working to first complete all of the construction permitting and then to really plan the project. So what I'm going to do, I'm very informal. So if anybody has questions, just jump right in. I'd like for this to be a conversation. We have a website with a drone video. So what I'm going to do is kind of walk you through the project as if you were with me. And kind of show you exactly what it looks like as of probably 2 weeks ago. As Laura mentioned, the project is very large. It's 4,700 acres. As part of our land use approvals and development order, we committed to dedicate 51% of that to conservation, and we've already done that. So over 2,400 acres have been dedicated forever for conservation, and our biologist Ed Weinberg is working to restore that area so that it really connects approximately 100,000 acres of wetlands together. We're creating a trail system that's going to be open to the public so that people can enjoy that part of the world. And that's a key part of the project. And then in the northern part of the property that we acquired, in the southern part of the property, we have planned a mixed use development. Just in summary, we have 3,900 residential units. All of them, except 250 of them, are townhomes. We call them multifamily, but they're really townhomes. The balance are all single family homes. It's a big piece of land. So, in a post-COVID era, it is a place where lots are relatively large. There's lots of space. We are approved for 400,000 square feet of retail, 200,000 square feet of medical uses, and approximately 1,000,008 square feet of workplace, professional office. We have, and I'm going to walk you through the project. We've deeded to the city of Palm Beach Gardens, 115 acre civic site next to their golf course for them to improve. And we've deeded to the city of Palm Beach Gardens a 50-acre parcel, which we call our economic development site, for them to go out and find, together with us, because we really are partners with them, a major employer to bring to the area. I am extremely proud of this project, extremely excited about it. I feel that we are very fortunate to be in the city of Palm Beach Gardens. Initially, when we acquired it and people said to us, it's going to be so hard to get it approved, it was. But now that we've done that and that we got through that sort of political piece, it's great to be in a city that is run so well and has the staff that they have. It's not easy. There's a lot that we have to do to get past it, but they are true professionals. And so it's been great. So with that, I'm going to ask, let's start the video and then I'll kind of stop it along the way as we get through the master plan. So this is Avenir. And it's from our website is avenirpbg.com. So anytime, you can go on site and watch this video. Our entry, we were very deliberate in choosing our entry features. We designed them to be constructed with oolite stone. Oolite is a native stone to Florida. We wanted it to be very sort of organic, classic Florida. We wanted to pick features that are going to stand the test of time, because I hate going by communities when you look at them and you're like, that's 1980s, So, all right, so let's stop with this for a second. I'm going to just show you some of the key components of the plan, and then we're going to drive through it. But I wanted you to kind of know what you're looking at before we start the drive. So we are developing, Avenir is right on North Lake Boulevard. And we started right here in the easternmost, the entry features you just saw are located right on Avenir Drive, which is the main residential entry feature to the community. And we started development through this curved drive, which is Avenir Drive. It is phase 1.1 of the first phase. So that gives access to our first set of residential parcels, which we have already conveyed either entirely or in part to Toll Brothers, Kenko, and K. Hovnanian. Toll Brothers, the community called Watermark, is their 70-foot product. Each of that, they have like about 100 lots, don't quote me, something like that. Across the way, Kenko, that Pod A4 has about 107 lots. Those are 80-foot lots, so they're larger products. We intentionally planned the community with a variety of lot sizes so that we could attract a variety of people. We didn't want to have just one kind of family. We wanted to have people who want smaller houses, larger houses. I mean, it's pretty high end, but there's definitely variety. Then as you continue to curve through Avenir Drive, K. Hovnanian, which is Pod A2, they've also closed, I think those are 60s, I think. And they are starting construction of their models. If you drive there today, you can go visit the models that Toll has already opened, and you can see that Kenko's models are well under construction. Across on the east side of Avenir Drive, there's a 115-acre civic and recreation site that we've deeded to the city of Palm Beach Gardens. They're going to incorporate that into their public golf course, public space. So that's going to be a place for everyone to enjoy. Avenir is open. Each of these communities is gated, but the connectors, everything that brings the community together is open and meant to be open. Just on the other side of the civic recreation parcel is our 469 unit community that we have conveyed to Toll Brothers. It's an age restricted parcel. So that parcel is going to have its own clubhouse. And I skipped a very important part, just where it says clubhouse, just south of the civic recreation parcel. This community is so big, so you have to kind of look at the details. We're beginning construction of our clubhouse for this part of the community. It's approximately 14,000 square feet. It's going to have all the kinds of things you need in a clubhouse, tennis courts, pickleball, which I've learned is extremely important, pool, restaurant, those kinds of things. And that clubhouse is going to be for all of the homes east of Coconut, except for the 469 age restricted units, because those are going to have their own clubhouse for that demographic. So that's sort of the first phase of the community. Then as you keep going on Avenir Drive and you make a right to go north, you're going to see the economic development parcel that we've already conveyed to the city of Palm Beach Gardens. Then Pod A9, which is being planned right now for another 100 and so units. And as you keep going north on Avenir Drive, to the east, there are 3 parcels that we are working on with another builder partner, with Pulte Devasta Homes, that has Ancient Tree east of us. They are terrific. And so we're planning those parcels east of Avenir Drive together with them. And then west of Avenir Drive, you can see that core golf course. You may have seen in the news, Jack Nicklaus is designing that golf course. We're working with a group to develop very high-end, and these are really custom homes around the golf course and that whole amenity area. But it's important for you to know, like, the way I look at Avenir and my work every day, everything east of Coconut is kind of going on the ground already. We are either developing it, delivering it, or about to start develop. I mean, it's all developed. Everything west of Coconut is still in the planning stages. And when we closed on this in 2012, we told everybody this could be a 20-year project. And in fact, it can. I mean, it's now 8 years later. We've delivered about 800 lots, but still have a long way to go. There's 3,900 units to go. A key piece before we start, and I think the video starts with that, of the property east of Coconut is our town center. That is, we're working hard to make that a very walkable, inviting piece of the puzzle. We're starting with the basics: grocer, drugstore. The first 100,000 square feet are going to be the kinds of uses you have to have in a community like this. And then we're going to expand to include, lifestyle kind of restaurants. It's going to be a place where people go walk around. I don't have to tell all of you, because you know more than I do, retail is changing. It has changed a lot in the past 8 months. And honestly, March, April, and May were scary because nobody really knew what was going to happen. And so we can talk a little bit about that as we go through. But as the world changed post-COVID, we have seen, like many other developers and builders in this area, that people like suburbia, they like big spaces, and they like Florida. So we are benefiting from that. We're also sensitive to the fact that retail itself is changing. And so it's not, we're constantly trying to figure out exactly what needs to be there to attract people and to make it successful. So let's play the video, and then we'll sort of drive you through the community, and then I'm happy to answer any questions. So you can see this is North Lake, and this is really 2 weeks old. So, and every time I go, I see something new. It's amazing. That's the main entrance of Avenir. And as you go through, we have not started developing the town center. That's still in the process of being approved at the city. So what you're going to see is that site is cleared, but it's not yet been developed. But that's exactly where it's going to go, intentionally on North Lake, so that it's accessible. And you're going to be able to access it through Coconut. But you get the feel of it. It's a pedestrian-friendly, restaurant-driven kind of town center. We are right next to the City of Palm Beach Gardens Sand Hill Crane Golf Course, which is great because that is a free amenity that is very successful and candidly a great place for me to go to lunch. So now we're going into the community. This is Avenir Drive, the main entrance. To the right is the Kenko community, their 80-foot product. Immediately to the left is the Toll Brothers 70-foot product. Those, if you have a chance, go look at their models. They're gorgeous. I mean, I'm very happy. Our builder partners are really a tremendous source of joy for us. They've been amazing. Kay Hovnanian is there to the left. Now we're getting to our clubhouse, which is raised, so it's going to have a great view, and that's a rendering of what it's going to look like. We started construction of the clubhouse a couple of months ago. It should be ready in about a year, less than a year, I think. And again, the theme is sort of classic Florida. We've tried to pick materials and styles that are organic and that don't go out of date. Then as we keep going, we call that our oval about. It's like a football field. If you drive by, it's a huge internal park right next to the 115-acre. That's the clubhouse being built right there. And then next to it is the site that we've donated, that we deeded already to the City of Palm Beach Gardens. You can see some of these are renderings. Avenir is designed so that you can go everywhere by bike or golf cart. There's dedicated golf cart paths and bike paths throughout the community. So it's completely interconnected. You can take a golf cart and go from the town center all the way to the conservation area. Right now we're passing, these are I believe that's the Toll Brothers age restricted community, which they've started to work on. Regency, that is that very large parcel that you saw on the master plan. And we keep going north on Avenir Drive until that last roundabout that we to the west is Pod A3, which is the 50-foot product for Toll Brothers, and then the professional office medical, that is on west of Coconut. There's a working farm, but that's far out. I mean, and I'm very excited about that too, but we're not quite there yet. That's a little bit farther out in the horizon, in the western edge of the project. And then this is the northern piece of the puzzle of the project, going towards the golf course, which is the private golf course. Those are going to be very modern homes, high end. Most of the project, I would say that the homes start in the $550,000 range and go to $1 million. These are going to be more expensive and more sort of geared to that sort of private club experience. And it's for us, it's exciting to have two kinds of golf courses, the public golf course, which is really such a great amenity, and then to have this very unique golf course experience. And then lastly is the conservation area, which is one of the key amenities of the project. There are already trails there. I mean, you can literally go walk around there, and I would wait for the rain to die down a little bit, but it's a great time to do that. And I think that is the tour. So I hope this gives you a sense. When I used to give these presentations, when we were trying to get our approvals, I talked to people about what we hoped it would look like. Now I can really say, this is what it looks like, which is amazing for me. That's why I do what I do, and it's so exciting for me. So anybody have questions? I'm happy to, I can talk about this project all day long.
I do.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you a couple things. When you plan, obviously I know everything is in flux, but when you plan to deliver the town center, and also if you have any commitments on the commercial side from any users or developers that are planning to come in and either build or lease there.
So I can tell you on the town center, we are hoping, I have so many confidentiality agreements that I can never, and so it's hard for me to give you the actual users, but I am hoping to deliver the first phase of the town center by the end of 2021. And that'll be with approximately 100,000 square feet of, like I said, the basics: grocer, drugstores, the kinds of people who go in these kinds of centers. We are talking to all of those people right now. I'll tell you that for the first March, April, we're kind of a little bit shaky, because other than the grocery stores and the drugstores and those kinds of folks, a lot of retailers kind of stopped doing anything for 2 months. And in terms of residential, I feel like we lost a little bit of a season, because even though everybody knew that Florida would be great for this, nobody was coming down to look at houses in March, April, and May. So it's a little bit, I would say that we probably got delayed for a few months, but there is a lot of excitement about Florida right now. And a lot of folks are calling about the town center. We have aggressive interest in the commercial areas. Professional office, less so, because that comes later. They need to really see the rooftops. We have it. We're talking to all sorts of users, but I can't tell you that I have somebody coming in tomorrow.
Do you have anybody medical committed?
We are talking to people. I don't have a commitment yet, but we're out there. Those people have actually suffered a lot, because COVID has impacted hospitals, as take a long time to make up their mind to do anything. And in the middle of this pandemic, they take even longer. So.
And have you heard much from your sellers, Kenco, Pulte, as far as how their sales are going?
Their sales are going well. People need, for this kind of sales, you need models. And so the Toll Brothers opened their models a couple of weeks ago. And I think they're pleased. And if you go, I encourage all of you, if you're interested in real estate in Florida, go drive there on a Sunday and take a look, because you'll see the interest in the models.
That would be a fun outing too.
Plus, there's not much else to do. So, you know.
Rosa, I had a question. What about the townhouses? You mentioned you had that product type. Is that going to be coming online anytime soon, or?
Yes, that is going to be coming on I would say that is a similar time frame to the town center. Half of those are high-end rentals, like 130 or something like that. And then half of them are for sale product.
Are you developing those, or are those sold to a developer?
We are not the builder of any of this. We're going to build part of Avenir, but I have a lot on my plate being the master developer. So we'll take it one day at a time.
Well, I'm out here. I live west of Coconut. So
Okay.
I see every day the changes, and it is beautiful. I love the entrance. It looks very nice. guys
Thank
did
you.
a Great job.
Thank you.
Rosa, I
Jennifer, you
have
had
to say
another one.
congratulations. I think it's just phenomenal development, phenomenal courage and progress. I remember back in January 2014, when you first gave a presentation about Avenir to Crew Palm Beach. And it's just incredible how far you've come and how far you're going to go. And it's just very exciting, and hats off to you.
Thank you. I am very lucky. I work with amazing people. My partners are incredible, and we're happy. We're happy to be doing this. It's a slog every day, but it's a great thing to do. I enjoy what I do. Jennifer, you keep at I know you had a question.
I did. I just was wondering, since with COVID, if you had to change any of the design, especially I was thinking of the commercial center, and now with Publix doing pickup delivery, if any of your tenants or the overall design had changed due to people not really wanting to go inside, being more outside.
It's a great question. At the moment, we're only dealing with the very first piece of the town center, and so the answer to that is no, because you know how those tenants are. They have their prototypes and they move as they move. But I've had a lot of questions from people, asking about drive-throughs and the importance of drive-throughs in eateries, because people want to be able to go in and pick up and not have to go in. So yeah, it's stuff that we're thinking about that in the next phase of the design. Everybody's different. I know that we're in the middle of a pandemic. I am truly hoping that a year from now, we're all going to say, remember when we couldn't get together, remember that, and it'll be past, because I do hope that there's going to be a vaccine and that we're going to be able to live the way we used to live.
Mm-hmm.
But my kids tell me that sometimes that's just me because I'm an optimist and I hope. So I don't know.
No, I agree with you. I just noticed some of the commercial stuff that we're laying out. It's a lot more drive-throughs, a lot of
Yep.
the, and even dedicating more parking for pickup, and just things I'm starting to see. And I wondered, your project's very cutting edge and very progressive with all the outdoor spaces and walkways. I just was wondering if you were seeing any trends. So
it's definitely front of mind. One of the things that we've talked about a lot is we designed this to be a community where everybody has a golf cart, and golf carts are very COVID friendly, right? Because you're driving, you can get in a golf cart with somebody who's not in your pod, and you're both outside. So there is a lot of that in our thinking.
Rosa,
sure.
we had a question from somebody in the chat. From Teresa Barbera. She wanted to know, has a price point for purchasing the townhome product for sale been determined?
I'm not the builder, so I can't really speak specifically, but I would say that's probably, generally in that part of Avenir, everything is going to start in the $500,000 range. I don't think there's going to be much, even in the townhome for sale product, that's going to be less than that, because they're going to be fancy. They're going to be fully amenitized townhomes. The townhomes are going to have access to the clubhouse as well. So it's, there's a lot there.
Rosa,
Yes.
I have a question. This is Andres Montero. I'm a landscape architect based in Fort Lauderdale. I would like to know what the status of the private golf community is, and who is the developer.
So that's one of those things I can't tell you exactly. It's a group,
okay.
It's a group from Europe. It is and I can't say it's called Panther National. So they have a website, and they are making an entree into Florida, and they have a partnered with Jack Nicklaus for him to design the golf course. But they are doing that. And it is a core golf course designed for the golf playing experience.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Hi, Rosa. This is Jamie. My video is off just because I have a newborn, so I'm trying to juggle some things over here. But I want to say congratulations.
I have all the respect in the world for you, because I worked with newborns and it was hard.
Hence why my video is off. But I am here listening and watching you. So congratulations on this development project. This looks amazing. I haven't done a drive-through yet, but I plan on doing so soon. Quick question on the medical, you're welcome, on the medical office building side. I'm with Well Towers, so we're a large owner and operator of medical office buildings and seniors housing facilities nationally, but we have a nice presence here in South Florida as well. Did you say, number one, when you anticipate the MOB becoming operational? That's one question. And number two, are you already dealing with some operators, or do you have operators in mind for that MOB?
I don't have an operator in my, we're in advanced conversations with a few people. Remember what the process is for something like this, particularly in the city of Palm Beach Gardens. And this goes to medical, but it goes to anything. So if you were to come to me, and if you have anybody in mind, I would certainly entertain it. But you come to me and say, I'd like to, I don't know, put up a 100,000 square foot building over here. The first thing we have to do is create a plan and then go through the site planning process with the city of Palm Beach Gardens. That takes easily a year. So I'm not there yet. Absolutely. But even if, it takes a long time from deal making to actually putting a shovel in the ground for something like that. So I don't have a time frame for it yet, because I don't have a user yet.
Hi, Rosa, my name is Carolyn Watley. I work with Berkadia, and we finance multifamily rental communities. Is there any plan for any high-end multifamily rental properties?
So one of our builder partners is acquiring a parcel that is part of the town center, just on the northern edge of the town center, and for 130 or so high-end rentals. It's not us, but if you, and I don't know, whoever has, my contact information is there. If you want me to put you in touch with them, I can forward your information to them, and I'm happy to do that. I don't know what their financial, what their structure is in terms of financing.
Okay, great. Thank you. And this is beautiful. Congratulations. And you may have a crew parade as we all take a drive through.
Oh, we could do that. That'd be great. And we could go in that big football field and everybody have a drink. It's big enough. We can spread out outside. Be a lot of fun.
Thank you.
I think we just found our venue, Laura, for our holiday party.
There you go.
Rosa, can you say who the developer of the townhomes is?
No, I'm sorry. I have to.
No, that's okay.
Being the lawyer, I actually know what I have to go back. What did I sign? Until everybody's like hard, until deposits are hard, and typically until people actually close, I try to keep it.
Completely understand.
Rosa, when do you think the first homes will be built and delivered where people will start moving in and living there?
I think the first homes are already being built. Toll Brothers has already sold a bunch. I know because I keep track of building permits. And so that started probably in the past month or two, and it takes about 8 to 12 months to build a house. So next year.
Great. What other questions do we have for Rosa? Frank, are you talking? I can't hear you if you're talking.
You muting? I do have a question. Do they have any other improvements to North Lake, or what are they doing for the increased?
That's a big part of what I'm doing. If
Yeah.
we have a development order with like 140 conditions of approval that I have on my desk over there, and I look at all the time. One of the things that we have to do is expand North Lake from 4 lanes to 6 lanes, and we are in the process of doing that right now.
And then there is a connection up to the B line up at the
Yeah,
top, correct?
There will be. So if you look at the, again, this is that Coconut, which is that the main spine road will eventually connect all the way to the B line. There is a railroad crossing that is controlled by CSX all the way by the B line, and we are working with them to relocate that crossing. That sounds like it would be a really easy thing to do, but it really is very, 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 very challenging. So
Yeah.
I'm working on that. and that's going to determine the final alignment of that connection. But yes, that is part of the plan.
Okay. Thank you.
Frank, did you have a question? The only thing I see in the chat is that was my question, but I don't see the
Oh.
question. Can't hear you. I wish I could read lips. We'd be in business.
Put it in the chat. Put the question in the chat, Frank.
I want to know how Joyce accomplished keeping Frank quiet. I have a husband that needs a mute button, so I was just curious.
Oh, North Lake traffic was the question. Yes, there's traffic on North Lake. I know.
Yeah. It has gotten really bad this past year. I mean, we've seen a huge increase. Yeah.
So I think there's a couple things that I think you will see happening, and this is just the organic growth of our community over time. You know, you're going to see ebbs and flows, but we are expanding North Lake significantly. That's going to take care of a big chunk of that. And as we provide the services that we're going to provide in the town center, there's going to be some reversal of trips so that people are going to stay. The idea is that people who live in Avenir will have a place to go shopping in Avenir, and that the traffic will be taken, at least it's never going to have no traffic, but
Right.
it will be in much better shape. But yes, I know there is traffic on North Lake because I drive there too.
So Rosa, the widening of North Lake, is that just near Avenir, or how far east and west will that go?
It goes all the way to State Road 7, and the county is, I don't exactly know where the county project begins, but the county project begins west of us and then all the way through to where State Road 7 would end. So it's a pretty significant project, and we're doing it in phases.
Great, thank you. What other questions do we have for Rosa?
I just wanted to know if she has, an approximate ETA on the completion of North Lake. Obviously, you don't control it all, but are we looking at 5 years, 10 years? I know those are huge.
It's hard for me to say, and part of it is difficult for me to say because it's dependent on the county. The county's doing the western piece, and we're working with them to get to, I guess, 140th. So it in part depends on them. Our piece, the first phase of what we're doing, is almost done. So I think less than 5 years, but it's a guess.
Okay. Any other questions for Rosa? Well, Rosa, that was the first drone kind of presentation that we've had, and I got to tell you, it was fantastic. So I don't know who did that for you, but it was wonderful and really gave us a good idea of the project and really how far you've come. So that's fantastic, and we'd love to have you back again once you've even made more progress, and so we could all take a look at it. But I definitely think that's something we should plan for 2021 is take a little tour of Avenir so we can really see it in person because it's fantastic.
I'd love to take you guys out there. I hope next time I get to do it in person, and I miss you all.
Yes, we miss you too. And thank you so much for joining us and doing your presentation. We really appreciate it. And just wanted to remind everyone that it is membership renewal time. And if you renew your membership by December 18th, you get a $50 discount off of your membership. We wanted to give something back to our members, knowing what a tough time this is, and let you know how much we value your membership. So any other questions on membership or sponsorship, you can please reach out to me, Monique, or anyone on the board. I want to thank you all so much again for being here, and hope to see you at the Crew Coffee on the 1st, and definitely for the virtual holiday party on the 8th. Thanks so much.
Have fun, everyone. Bye, guys.
Have a good day.
Thanks for helping me do this, because technology, not my bag. Thank you, Sandy. All right, bye.